Dear children, today I would like to discuss solutions. Myself, Dr. Digna Varghese. Solution. A solution is defined as a homogeneous mixture of two or more non-reacting components. What is a mixture? A mixture is a physical blend of two or more components, each of which retains its own identity and properties in the mixture. What is the term homogeneous mixture indicates? A homogeneous mixture is a mixture in which the composition is uniform throughout the mixture. Consider a salt solution. We know ordinary table salt is sodium chloride. It is considered as a substance because it has a uniform and definite composition. All samples of sodium chloride are chemically identical. That means sodium and chlorine is present in the substance. We know water is also a pure substance, that is H2O. When salt is added to water, salt dissolves easily in water. But salt water cannot be classified as a substance. Salt water is not a substance because it contains two substances. Okay, so it is a mixture. A mixture is a physical blend of two or more components, each of which retains its identity and property in the mixture. So it is a mixture and it also a homogeneous mixture because a homogeneous mixture is a mixture in which composition is uniform throughout the mixture. Only the form of the salt is changed when it dissolved into water. It retains its composition, that is salt is sodium chloride NaCl, and its property the same taste for the solution also. Okay, and its properties are the same. So this is a solution. Solution is defined as a homogeneous mixture of two or more non-reacting components. All solutions would be considered as homogeneous. You can see this is a homogeneous mixture of sodium chloride in water. Sodium chloride is taken in a lower amount when compared to water. So sodium chloride is act as a solute and water act as a solvent here. And solute plus solvent forms solution. So it is a single phase system. We can say that it is a single phase system. We know phase is a part of a system which has uniform properties and composition throughout. Binary solutions. Solution is made up of two components. That solutions is known as binary solutions. We know solution has two parts, that is first one is solute and the other one is solvent. What is a solute? A solute is a constituent that dissolves component which is smaller in amount. Okay. We saw the table salt solution in which sodium chloride act as the or table salt act as the solute. What is solvent? The solvent is the constituent that in which dissolution takes place or component which is larger in amount in a solution is known as solvent. When we take salt solution, the component in larger amount is water, so water is the solvent. If we take sugar solution, solute is sugar and solvent is water. If we take alcohol solution, solute is alcohol and solvent is water. Okay. Types of solutions. Based on the physical states in which the solutions may exist, there can be three types of solutions. One is solid solutions and the other one is liquid solutions and the last one is gaseous solutions. The solvent determines the physical state in which the solution exists. Okay. We know a binary solution is a solution which is made up of two components. One is solute and the other one is solvent. So, solute and solvent may be solid, liquid or gaseous or gas. So, there are 9 possible types of binary solutions are possible. One is solid solutions, in which 3 types of solutions. One is solution of gas in solid, other one is solutions of liquid in solid, and solutions of solid in solid. In solid solutions, solid is solvent and gas and liquid and solid are solute in corresponding solutions. Solutions of gas in solid means solid is a solvent, gas is a solute. Okay. For examples, hydrogen dissolves in metals like palladium, that is studied as a means of hydrogen storage. So, hydrogen is a gas, palladium is a solid or is a metal. So, gas in solid solution is that in which gas is a solute and solid is a solvent and forming solution. So, hydrogen in palladium is an example of gas in solid solution. Next one is solutions of liquid in solid. We know mercury is a liquid metal. So, mercury in gold forming an amalgam, that is an example of solutions of liquid in solid. And other is water in solid or salt or sugar forming moist solids. Okay. Another one is hexane in paraffin wax. Hexane is liquid and solid is wax. Another example is polymers containing plasticizers such as phthalate in PVC. Phthalate is liquid, PVC polyvinyl chloride is a solid. Okay. These are some examples of liquid in solid solutions. Solutions of solid in solid. Here both solute and solvent is solid. Okay. Steel. Steel is an example of solutions of solid in solid. That is, steel is basically a solution of carbon atoms in a crystalline matrix of iron atoms. Alloys like bronze and many others are examples of solutions of solid in solid. Another one is radium sulfate dissolved in barium sulfate. That is a true solid solution of radium in barium sulfate. Okay. So, type solid solutions. In this there are 3 types. One is solution of gas in solid, another one in liquid in solid, and the third one in solid. Second type of solution is liquid solutions, in which there are 3 types of binary solutions. One is solutions of gas in liquid, second one is solutions of liquid in liquid, and the third one is solutions of solid in liquid. Examples of solutions of gas in liquid: oxygen in water, carbon dioxide in water. We know carbonated water is a water that has been infused with carbon dioxide gas under pressure. This produces a bubbly drink that's also known as sparkling water, fizzy water, club soda, soda water, Chester water, etc. So, the visible bubbles in carbonated water are not dissolved gas, okay, but only an effervescence of carbon dioxide that has come out of solution. The dissolved gas itself is not visible since it is dissolved on a molecular level. Next one is solutions of liquid in liquid. The mixing of 2 or more substances of the same chemistry but different concentrations to form a constant, that is homogenization of solutions. Examples of solutions of liquid in liquid is alcoholic beverages, which consider ethanol in water. That means ethanol is a liquid and water is also a liquid. And the last one is solutions of solid in liquid. There is a term, a saturated solution. A saturated solution is a solution that remains in contact with excess of solute. Here solute is solid. The amount of solute dissolved per 100 gram of solvent in a saturated solution at a specific temperature represents the solubility of the solute. Okay. There are two types of substances, exothermic substance and endothermic substance. Exothermic substance, example potassium hydroxide, calcium oxide, calcium hydroxide, metal carbonates, metal sulfates, that solubility is inversely proportional to temperature. For endothermic substances, solubility is directly proportional to temperature. Example sodium chloride, potassium nitrate, sodium nitrate, etc. As the temperature increases, the reaction or solubility also increases. In the case of solid in liquid solutions, example is sucrose in water, table salt in water, or other salts in water. That is an example of solid in liquid solutions. Solutions in water is always known as aqueous solutions, but there are non-aqueous solutions too. Non-aqueous solutions in which the liquid solvent is involved in the solution is not water. There are some other counter examples, that is homogeneous, colloids, suspensions, emulsions, but they are not considered as solutions. Okay. Body fluids are examples of complex liquid solutions which containing many number of solutes. So these are about liquid solutions. The third type of solution is gaseous solution, in which also there are three types of binary solutions. One is solutions of gas in gas, and the other one is solutions of liquid in gas, and the third one is solutions of solid in gas. Air is an example of a gas in gas solution, or solution in which a gaseous solute dissolved in a gaseous solvent. The largest solute present in air is oxygen, that we know about 20%. Other solutes include argon, carbon dioxide, neon, helium and methane. Some trace elements also. Solutes include ozone, carbon monoxide and ammonia. So many gases are coming in a mixture that form as a air, that is known as a solutions of gas in gas. So another one is solutions of liquid in gas, that is solutions of liquid in gas. There is water in ammonia, ammonia in water vapor. These are some examples of solutions of liquid in gas. Solutions of solid in gas, that is solutions in which solute is a solid and gas is a solvent. So these are known as solid gas solutions. Example is a mixture of camphor in nitrogen gas. Some characteristics of solutions are: one is a solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. The particles of solute in a solution cannot be seen by the naked eye. A solution does not allow beams of light to scatter. A solution is stable. The solute from a solution cannot be separated by filtration or mechanically. It is composed of only one phase, that it is homogeneous. Now we are moving to the next topic, methods of expressing the concentration of a solution. We always discuss a solution being diluted or concentrated. This is the qualitative way of expressing the concentration in a solution. A dilute solution means the quantity of the solute is relatively small, and the concentrated solution implies that the solution has a large amount of solute. So concentration is expressing the amount of solute present in 1 liter of the solution. It is usually denoted by the letters capital C or S. C is equal to weight of solute in grams per volume in liters. Okay. But these are only relative terms and do not give us the quantitative concentration of the solution. So the quantitatively describe the concentration of various solutions around us. We commonly express the levels in the following way. First one is the concentration in parts per billion or million, that is ppm. If the amount of solute is extremely small, its concentration is expressed in ppm. It is the number of parts of a component or solute in 1 million parts of the solution. If a solution containing a component, then ppm of A can be expressed as mass of A divided by total mass of the solution into 10 raised to 6. If there are two components, say A and B, then mass of A divided by total mass of A and B into 10 raised to 6. In volume, in terms of volume, volume of A divided by total volume of the solution into 10 raised to 6. In aqueous solutions, milligram per liter is the same as ppm. A sample of polluted water contains a 0.1 gram of mercury in 1 millimeter cube of solution of water. Then 1 meter cube we know 1000 liter or 1000 kilogram, that is 10 raised to 6 gram. Concentration of mercury is 0.1 into 10 raised to 6 divided by 10 raised to 6. That means 1.1 ppm is its parts per million or concentration of mercury in polluted water. Okay. Next way of expressing the concentration is mass percentage. Mass percentage is the concentration is expressed as the percent of one component in the solution by mass. Mass percentage is equal to mass fraction into 100 is the mass percentage of a component. That is, mass percentage of A is equal to mass of the component in the solution divided by total mass of the solution into 100. That is mass fraction into 100. Volume percentage. Sometimes we express the concentration as a percent of one component in the solution by volume. It is then called as the volume percentage and is given as volume percentage of A, volume of component A in solution divided by total volume of the solution into 100. That is also expressed in like parts per million. For example, if a solution of sodium chloride in water is said to be 10% by volume, that means 100 ml solution will contain 10 ml of sodium chloride. Okay. Next, by mass by volume percentage. This unit is majorly used in the pharmaceutical chemistry. It is defined as the mass of a solute dissolved per 100 ml of the solution. Next one is normality. Normality is the number of gram equivalents of solute present in 1 liter of the solution and is denoted by N. Normality is gram equivalents per liter and it is expressed as N is equal to weight of solute in grams divided by equivalent mass into volume in liter. Next one is formality. Formality is the number of gram formula present in 1 liter of the solution. It is denoted by F. F is equal to weight of solute in gram divided by formula weight into volume in liter. One of the most commonly used methods for expressing concentration is molarity. So the next one is molarity. Molarity is the number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 liter of a solution. Suppose a solution of ethanol is marked as 0.25 molar. This means that in 1 liter of the given solution 0.25 moles of ethanol is dissolved. Okay, that is, molarity can be calculated by using the equation N2 by V, where N2 is W2 by M2 and M can be written as W2 by M2 into V, that is weight of solute divided by mass of solute into volume. Normality and molarity is related by using equation normality into equivalent weight is equal to molarity into molar mass. Then N is equal to molarity into valency. N is equal to molarity into number of H plus or OH minus ions. These are the relations between normality and molarity. Next one is molality. Molality represents the concentration regarding moles of solute and the mass of solvent. Molality is given by the moles of solute dissolved per kilogram of the solvent. Molality is expressed in terms of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kilogram. That is, M is equal to N2 by W1 into 1000. N2 is the moles of solute and W1 is the mass of solvent into 1000, where N2 is, we know, W2 by M2, mass of solute divided by weight of solute divided by mass of solute, and M is equal to W2 by M2 into 1000 divided by W1. Mole fraction. It is the ratio of the number of moles of that component to the total number of moles of the solution. If the solution has a solvent and the solute, a mole fraction gives the concentration as the ratio of moles of one component to the total moles of present in the solution. It is usually denoted by the term X. Suppose we have a solution containing A as a solute and B as a solvent. Let Na and Nb be the number of moles of the A and B present in the solution respectively. So mole fractions of A and B is given by, if Xa is equal to Na by Na plus Nb. Na is the number of moles of A and Nb is the number of moles of B. Xa is the mole fraction of component A. Xb is equal to Nb by Na plus Nb. So it is the ratio of the number of moles of one component to the total number of moles of solution. Okay. We know Xa plus Xb is equal to 1. The above mentioned methods are commonly used ways of expressing the concentrations of solutions. All the methods describe the same thing, that is the concentration of a solution. Each of them has its own advantage and disadvantage. Molarity depends on temperature, while mole fraction and molality are independent of temperature. All these methods are used on the basis of requirement of expressing concentrations. By this, I conclude. Thank you for your attention.